Olivo Verde.
Presents.
Possessed.
Tell me, did this happen to you too? When you were just a child, did your pastor and your parents used to scare you so that you would be good, because if not, you would go straight to hell? I don't need to remind you that being traumatized is no joke. Do you remember that your parents used to force you every night to bend your knee and pray a lot, because otherwise the doors to hell would be opening for you? So you pretended to pray to avoid being punished, repeating words and praises that you memorized. That's how they raised you, terrified by their religion. You had many nightmares. You used to jump if something seemed strange to you. You had several panic attacks. You spent many sleepless nights of terror. With all this, they classified you as cold, distracted, and that you had no faith, since they also taught you that everyone else was bad and wrong. They told you that all your friends were little monsters and evil from hell. That's how you grew up. But when you started to study the written words with a rabbi, they started calling you a traitor. They threatened you. Apart from that, they began to speak hatefully about you and despised you. They classified you as a heretic. This made you feel bad, and you felt insulted. Still, your curiosity continued to grow. You wanted to know the truth. That's when you started to discover the truth, to discover how wrong and terrifying these people really are. Then, when you tried to present to these masses the truth about exactly was that Yahushua said, but they responded, "You are possessed by some demon of false knowledge." You tried to teach them the truth, but they are not interested, because their doctrine of men is more important to them than saving their souls. You will try to show them proof that their Bible has been intentionally mistranslated. They won't believe you. Instead, they will argue with you that their Bible is the only true one. They will refuse everything you could tell them. Behind your back, they will begin to curse you and send you to the same hell that terrified you when you were a child. They will laugh at you. They will make fun of you. These people will be very angry at you. They will even start calling you the son of the devil, an idiot, an unbeliever, and a possessed person. Now, we must understand that these attitudes are what have been taught to them to believe and act like. These people will not believe in anything else because they have been brainwashed. They have been manipulatively deceived using a Bible, which is what makes everything worse. They have used Paul's words to manipulate them. Since you are learning from the rabbi the true meaning of the word Gehenna, which is almost always modernly translated as hell. But worse, they will laugh at you when you try to teach them and get them out of their mistake, because Gehenna also means garbage and rot, because in that church all they see and hear is a sensual preacher who preaches garbage and lies for their personal gain. Their goals are to make a profit, not to save souls. They are not interested in knowing the truth because it scares them. For this reason, they prefer to continue listening to sweet lies in their paganism and idolatry disguised as glory. The worst thing is, they don't even realize that their church is a country club, or worse, a clan, or part of the occult. It's just, they're all blind. They have no ears to hear the truth. They refuse to see the truth because they love to sin. They are not interested in hearing that Gehenna was a real place. It is said that it was used for disposing of garbage and burning unclaimed, dead bodies. They do not want to know these facts, that today they found that place, and that there is not much evidence that it is hell. It's not convenient for their twisted religion. It is repeated that it was a vacant place. There they used to throw garbage, even unclaimed corpses. It was the rot of the city. When it comes to explaining this, Yahushua metaphorically used that place as a parallel meaning of hell, even though it was a place to throw garbage. However, that was magnified, evilly twisted, to terrify people, that if you sin you are trash, that you will be thrown there. As if we all did not sin in every minute of our lives. But, since you were a child, they never told you that Yahweh loves the sinner, despite hating sin. When it comes to explaining this, that Yahushua metaphorically used that place as a symbolical meaning for hell, but it was a place to throw garbage. However, that was magnified, evilly twisted, to terrify people, especially children, that if you sin, they will treat you like trash, and you would be thrown there. But, since you were a child, they never told you that Yahweh loves the sinner, despite disliking sin. Yahushua was referring to the place of torment, in comparison, and metaphorically, to make a point. Well, that terrifying meaning was given in the year 1200, copied and manipulated to make matters worse. By them reviewing the Bibles and trying to find something to obligate the masses to be Catholics by force, or else death, later used by pastors and your parents to control and manipulate the masses. The reality is that Yahushua spoke metaphorically, not literally, but since they believe that all the stories as real facts, it is easier to believe everything literally than to investigate and discover their spiritual riches. Now, I will make it clear that in no way am I saying that hell does not exist. However, this may be, you were terrified of hell since you were a child. You are afraid of this topic. Nonetheless, they have twisted it even further by now saying that if you don't tithe, you won't go to heaven. Where in the Bible does it say that? I have to tell you to be careful. Open your eyes to the truth. Don't believe in anyone. Remember that Yahweh loves you. It's good to talk about these things with someone who has an education so they can give you that extra help you need.
If you want to get this book and others by the same author, please search for her on Amazon.